Something Whispered, Follow Me is probably my favorite song on the album. Make sure to pre-save our new song, Among the Phoenix, out on February 28th. Everything will be pinned in the comments. Also, go check out our merch store and our new Love Over Fear line and Among the Phoenix merch. And last but not least, go check out my band, City of Sound, on whatever streaming service you use. Go subscribe to our band YouTube. Check out our live performance videos, our music videos. All of our songs are over there. Thank you for supporting independent cinematic rock. We love y'all very much. As many of you know, I have become a huge Nightwish fan over the last year and a half that I've been listening to their songs, diving through a lot of their albums, and learning more and more about the band. And now that I'm doing some album reviews for some artists, Nightwish just happened to release Yesterwynde or Yesterwynde. I'm not sure. I'm going to be honest. Some of my pronunciations are going to be incorrect on some of these songs, and I apologize. That's what happens when you have a hick from Indiana trying to pronounce song titles. So I apologize. Now, I'm going to be giving an honest review also. So there were things on the album that weren't necessarily for me, but regardless, a link to the album is going to be in the description. Go listen to it. No matter what I say on this, go listen to it. Nightwish is an incredibly talented band, and the album is worth a listen through no matter what. I love the concept and what the album is telling the listener and the journey that it's taking them on. So regardless of what I say on certain songs or the overall review of the album from me personally, click the link, go listen to it. Nightwish deserves your ears. Here we go. This is my review of Nightwish, Yesterwynde. I will say right off the bat that this album is somewhat of a revisit of maybe what past fans would expect out of Nightwish. I know their last album, I think it was 5 years ago. I believe their last album was 2020. That was a dual side, and it presented some different artistic choices from Nightwish and the whole band, and I actually really liked it, and I thought it was very interesting. This is a little bit of a return to form in many cases in a lot of the metal gallops and the riffs that you hear. My favorite thing of the album that I'm going to tell you right now, though, is conceptually, it hit me as a story of death, of passing, the legacy left behind. A reminder of the small light that guides you through winter's season of death and to the other side. And to me, that is a beautiful painting and foundation for a concept album. Now let's get into it. The first song on the track is the title track, Yesterwynde, and it starts off very haunting, operatic, unique composition, kind of what you would expect out of Tomas and the band. It's very otherworldly and also very medieval. Throughout this album, I'm probably going to say that a couple times. There's absolutely a lot of dark fantasy that is fit into this album that kind of goes through the through line of the concept. And that was really intriguing to me right off the top. Almost every song is at least 6 minutes long. So you are in for a ride. You're in for a journey. So if you do listen to the album, sit down, grab a coffee, and be prepared for basically a feature film. Now, one of the criticisms you're probably going to hear from me on this album throughout quite a bit of the songs is that I did feel that Flora's vocal was quite tucked into the mixes, which made it pretty difficult for me to understand what was going on. And sometimes the vocal was so tucked that it created a little bit of a muddy effect in the mix. And it was that way on this song also. I felt myself leaning in, trying to understand vocally what was going on. But regardless of that, I loved the world building and the feeling of passing to the other side on Yesterwynde. And it definitely establishes moving forward into the rest of the album. Oh, by the way, I'm going to do like a score out of 5 for every song and then an overall. The score doesn't mean anything. It's just for fun because this is YouTube and I don't know. I'm just having fun with it. So Yesterwynde, 3 out of 5. I think it's a great foundational title track song to start the journey and move on into the rest of it. Next on the album is An Ocean of Strange Islands, which is such an interesting title for a song. And given the journey of what I felt like the concept was, because it kind of takes you to this place of like the unknown and you're arriving into the unknown on this passing through to the other side. This song is 9 minutes long and gave me serious Trans-Siberian Orchestra vibes, which also gives me kind of old school Nightwish vibes also. It was a lot of soundscape, and the mix was very interesting to me. I really enjoyed the panned string sections throughout this song. It was very adventurous, and it genuinely felt like a movie. Again, I was leaning in trying to figure out the vocal, but all in all, it was quite the adventure, especially in 9 minutes of a journey through a song. An Ocean of Strange Islands, 3 out of 5 again, and it did keep me curious and interested of what was coming next. I'm probably going to pronounce this wrong, but the next song was the Anti-Kythera Mechanism. I hope I said it right. This song, I genuinely loved the melody. Floor sounds great here. At 3:15, there is an instrumental turn that I thought was amazing, and I genuinely enjoyed it. It also has a great outro when you listen to this song. The only thing I wanted was the melody is so good. I do wish that there was more floor out front in this song because the melody is so adventurous, and I really wanted to hear it just break through the mix and clarity. But when you listen to the song, listen to those instrumental turns, listen to the outro. It's really, really unique. This was a 4 out of 5 for me. The next song is actually explicit, which was interesting on this album. It's called The Day Of. The intro is great. It's 4 on the floor. It keeps pushing it forward. The B chorus on this song is haunting, and it creates interest and curiosity. For me, instrumentally, this song actually really caught me in the end. The last minute of this song was very interesting, and it actually brought me back in, where I will admit, this part of the album, I started feeling some of the guitar riffs and choices were feeling a little bit redundant. Now, that might be the point of the album because it's trying to create a through line and theme of sound that's a part of the story, but it was something that found me getting a little bit bored listening to, and the last minute of this song brought me back, which I really, really enjoyed. The Day Of, for me, 3 out of 5. The next song is Perfume of the Timeless. I had already heard this song because I watched the music video, which is incredible, unbelievably interesting. This song for me just has a really awesome arrangement, from the intro to the different movements and to the ending and to the commentary. It's a really unique listen. And to me, this is kind of Tomas at his best. It's composed very well, but also the arrangement doesn't go where you expect. And it just creates a lot of interest and a lot of, I guess I would say, travel. I don't know if that makes sense, but it creates a lot of traveling through the journey of the song. The music is absolutely wild. The chorus slams. And again, even though I know it's annoying, I do still wish that Floor was brought up in the mix here. Perfume of the Timeless, I really, really enjoy this song. 4.5 out of 5 for me on the album. It's a really interesting listen. All right, Sway. Really, really enjoyed this song. The intro is amazing. The instrumentation on the opening guitars of the harmony in the right and the main lead in the left and the way they play off of each other really draws you into the world and just into whatever journey you're about to go on. It has 2 vocals that are simultaneously going on. This song felt like winter to me, and I genuinely think that was the point of it. I really felt like I was in winter, and not in a dark, hopeless sense, but as if there was a darkness and as if winter is what we were traveling through. This song felt like a season of death and passing through. That's literally what I took from it. And it was really, really unique. Sway for me was very beautiful. 4 out of 5. The Children of Atta is the next song on the album. I did like the song, but here in this part of the album is where the arrangements and the riffs started to feel very redundant to me. And I wasn't as interested or as drawn to the sound and just the overall composition of the song. Even the verse cadences on the melodies felt super similar to quite a few songs on the album. And to be honest, it did lose me a little bit while listening through. This song for me was 2 out of 5. Now, right when I thought that it was going to get very redundant and I was worried that the album was not going to end strong, Something Whispered, Follow Me is probably my favorite song on the album. The opening feels like Diablo Resurrected for anyone who plays the Diablo games. It feels like the world of Sanctuary. It has almost a Metallica-like turn that felt very old school Nightwish, and it was just really fun. The opening guitar lead felt like it was presenting the final moments of this journey that I just like really got drawn into. And even Floor breaks through the mix on certain points on the chorus where you really get to hear her finally on the album, and it really punches it home. It has a tom-driven chorus around the rack of the drums that I just really loved, and just really brought the energy out of from the opening of the song, and it just really capitalized what you wanted to hear. It has a great tucked delay guitar. It has a great mode change. I really loved this song. This song was 5 out of 5 for me. Probably my favorite on the whole album. Spider Silk was the next song. It has a really beautiful, haunting piano intro. It's a very interesting chord progression that has really interesting voicings right when your ear wants to hear it, and it strikes interest in your ear that I really, really loved. Now, for me, the vocal melody and verses on the song sounded very familiar to quite a few songs on the album, so I wasn't as drawn melodically to this song, and I was kind of finding myself waiting for it to go through to get to the next one. But I will say, Floor's voice on the song, when she does hit the chorus, the girl can just rip. I mean, her voice is just so good. I mean, it's genuinely just so good. So even when I feel like the melody is very similar to a lot of the other songs and the verse cadences, when she comes in and belts, it doesn't matter. It takes the interest of your ear right back into it. You find yourself listening in. The only thing on this song that kind of drew me back a little bit was the mix. It felt a little muddy to me. That is something that even we as a band struggle with a lot, because when you have so many different elements going into a song, it's very difficult to find clarity and find the balance for every single piece you want people to hear. So I also understand it, but that was the only thing that kind of pulled me out of it a little bit. Spider Silk, 3.5 out of 5 for me, but still a really beautiful beginning to this song. Hiraeth is the next song on the album. And this is actually where I started to think that maybe the similarities in all the guitar riffs is a part of a through line. I wonder if the choices were being made because they wanted some sort of a theme that was similar throughout a lot of the songs in order to drive home the story, which I totally understand. That's not necessarily for me. I like a little bit more variety and things that create, maybe different pieces of the world that are kind of coming in order to create a lot of intrigue throughout the songs. But there was very similar riffs going on, composition going on this song. But the thing I loved about this song, the opening has that dark fantasy RPG feel that felt like it was the world of Diablo, and it felt like that journey through winter, and it felt like you were in another world, which I really, really did love on this song also. Hiraeth for me, 3 out of 5, but really beautifully haunting intro. The Weave is the next song. It opens with a double kick pattern with an awesome bass tone that kicks in. It drives it forward, and I found myself, okay, here we go. We're coming to the end of the album. I'm in this one now. It has a lot of haunting choral pans going on and synth pads. It's really interesting. If it's fun, it drives forward. It does still have some of what I felt was redundant in some of the string movements and the guitar riffs. But I will say, energetically and just intensity wise, for me, this was the hardest song on the album, and it was still really, really fun. If I would have listened to the song not throughout the whole album and all by itself, I would have been even more interested, and I wouldn't have felt like anything was redundant because I wouldn't have heard anything else in context. This song actually is a really fun, heavy feel. The only thing was that I had a really hard time hearing Floor. I still wish that her vocal was brought clearer, especially just in the overall EQ on a lot of these songs, to maybe cut through the clarity a little bit, because she has so much power and so much strong tone and interesting just like vocalization she does on some of these choruses. I really wish that she would have poked out a little bit more in the mix. The Weave, probably the heaviest song on the whole album. I actually still really liked it though, and I had a lot of fun with it. 4 out of 5. Then we come to the last song on the album, Lantern Light. I understand that this song is not the usual Nightwish. It is not a throwback to their heavier side. But let me tell you, I love this song. It's beautiful. It's interesting. It is an interesting composition. It's unique. It kind of ties a bow around that whole concept that I had at least taken from the album of this season of death and passing through to the other side, and this glimmer of light that is guiding you across this darkness and into wherever you're headed to next after passing on. It was really, really interesting. I genuinely love this song. I think that this is such a cool direction for them in terms of just what else Tomas and Floor can do together when they kind of pull the veil back and they pull back trying to create energy and they're just trying to create beauty. I really, really love this version of them. This song for me felt like a perfect end to an album, to a journey. It was as if it was the piece at the end of a long road. It was that twinkle of light at the very end of a cold winter's night, if that makes sense. Actually, I feel like that's kind of the perfect way to put it. So we'll end that part of the song right there. Lantern Light for me, 5 out of 5. I understand it's not their heavier side. It's not their usual. This song drives it home and delivers everything that I think this album is about. And I really, really love this song. So overall, Yesterwynde, for me, this whole album is a 3 out of 5. Again, rankings don't really mean anything. That's just something more for YouTube viewers, let's be honest. And I think it's a solid album. I think it delivers on the concept that it's going for. And I think you should listen to it. So click the link in the description. Go check out Nightwish. Regardless, I think you'll be interested in what they're doing and in this new album. Thank you for watching. I love y'all very much. Nightwish, Yesterwynde. Go listen to it.
Trace of a heartbeat, bring back the futures we lost, tear down the anthem still rising. I know it's not too late for us. Out of sight, time and reason, I hope to be better. Are we meant to cross the dying lines and walk to promise together? I'm a distant defeatist. Horizons will never forget how a way where love was captured